You're listening to the voice of Davia Odoy, and I am a digital illustrator. So, for today's class, this is an introductory class. It's Digital Art 101. Today, we'll be working in Procreate. If you do not have Procreate, it might be hard for you to follow along. So Procreate is the app that I'll be using, and that's what I'm going to be teaching on today. What you are looking at my tablet, and this is a collection of the art that I have scribbled and worked on here. So if you open up your app, at the top, it should say Procreate, and it should have these symbols here. If you haven't been drawing in the app, then this screen would be blank for you, but because I've been using this for the last couple years, that's why mine's is full. It's pretty full. I have a lot of stuff here. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to open up a new page. And to do that, you're going to hit the plus sign at the end here. And it's going to show you, it's going to say, it has a different screen sizes that you can use. So just for today's exercise, we're going to do screen size at the top. Just going to click that. So here, now we are on the page, right? So it's blank, all white. And so like with any digital software or drawing software, it's important to know what you are looking at and what you're using. And all around, these are all tools that you can use to help with creating art. Now, the beauty with digital art is that there is never just one way to do something, and there's never a right way to do something. There is a million ways to get to the same results. So let's put something on the page. So right here, automatically, what's already highlighted is our brushes. Our brushes is what we use to draw with. And most of these are default in Procreate. I have a few brushes that I purchased, but not many. But most of these are default in the software. So this is brushes. This little finger is a smudge tool. This here is an eraser. Erasers are very important. We're going to need to learn that. And here is our layers. When you click on that, by default, we have layer 1 and we have the background. Layer 1 is where each layer is where we'll draw. We only have one layer. And as you get comfortable in drawing in Procreate, you will use more and more layers. And I suggest that you create on each layer depending on what it is that you're making. So let's just pick a brush. By default, I'm going to scroll down to sketching and look for 6B pencil. I like this pencil because this is just the details of that pencil. I like using this pencil because it gives a sketch look, just like you're drawing on a piece of paper. All right, so I picked up pencil, I'm just sketching. And to clear it, if you're on layer 1, if you scroll this over to the side, there's a clear button right here. And I also have a few shortcuts that I will show you a little bit later how to clear the screen. So let's see. I told you I would be drawing a really super cute face, and that's what we're going to do today. And because I'm drawing a face, we're going to be using a tool called the symmetry tool. So let's turn that on now. I can tell that it's not on because the screen is still blank. So we're going to turn on our symmetry tool. To get to symmetry, you're going to click this little icon here. It looks like a stylus with a little plus sign at the top. Click on it. Let's see, is it here? No, it's on here. The one that looks like a wrench. Click here, click on canvas, drawing guide, we're going to turn it on. So turn that on. And to get to symmetry, we're going to hit here where it says edit drawing guide. Click that. And we're going to go down to the bottom and click symmetry. Turn that on. You should see a line show up on your screen, and that's what we want to do right now. Symmetry means we're going to draw on one side and it's going to replicate automatically for us. And this, I think, is very helpful if you're going to draw a face, because we have a symmetrical face as 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 sides of our mouth, 2 ears, things like that. So we're going to make a symmetrical face. So we have symmetry turned on. So let's just put something now so you can see it replicate on the other side. I'm going to make a star just so you can see. See that? It came up on the other side. I'm making like a really simple face. See that? So I'm just drawing on one side, and because of the symmetry that we have turned on, it's replicating on the other side. Everybody follow so far? Any questions? If I am going too fast, let me know. So we have symmetry turned on, and I'm just scribbling. I'm making like a little face just so you can see that this is how symmetry works. Okay? All right, so I'm going to clear this because this is not exactly what I want to create today. You want me to show you one more time? Sure. So to get to symmetry, you want to click this icon here. It looks like a wrench. It's the first icon on the left. Click it, and then you want to be under canvas. They have all of these different options you can click on, but we want to be here, canvas. We want to turn on our drawing guide, so make sure that's on. And then you want to edit drawing guide, so click edit. And at the bottom, all of these different options show up. We want to use the symmetry option, which is all the way here on the right. Make sure that's turned on, and then hit done at the top. And also you can change the color of the line. So if it's too light for you, this color bar up the top is where you could change the color of that line. So if I want to use a pink line or a dark blue line, I just do that with a slider, and it changes the color. Let me turn off my light. Maybe that'll help with you seeing my screen a little better. And I'm just going to do something. I'm going to turn down my light so that you can see. Hopefully the glare on my screen is not too bad. Okay. And also I'm going to change the background color. Just again, I can see that the glare on my screen is a little harsh. I'm just going to make my background a little gray instead of pure white, just so the glare is not that hard to see. All right, so let me, again, edit drawing guide. My guide is too light. I need it darker so I can see what I'm working with. So you see it here? Okay, so I have my symmetry is turned on. Another way to tell if your symmetry is turned on, go to your layer, and it'll say right under the layer, it'll say assisted. That's how you know it's turned on. And also if you tap on the layer, drawing assistant will be here. And it's also checked. So that's the way you can tell that it is on. All right, so hopefully we are all on the same page. So let us draw a face. So if you haven't picked your brush yet, go into the brushes panel. Scroll down to sketching and click 6B pencil. That's the pencil that I'm using. It is default in the Procreate system, so you don't have to upload anything. It already comes standard in the system. So that's what I'm using, the 6B pencil. And I like using this pencil because it reminds me of sketching on paper. All right, so I'm going to zoom in just a little. And so we're going to make a circle with symmetry. Actually, let me turn off symmetry for a second. I know I'm going backwards. Let me turn it off. Go to layer, and I'm going to turn it off. I'll turn it back on in a second. So I'm going to turn it off. Turn it off by clicking on it. So drawing assist with the check mark means it's on. Without the check mark means it's turned off. So we're going to turn it off. It's off. Let me see. Is it off? Yeah, it's off. So we're going to make a circle for a face. So let's just make a circle. We will worry about the actual dimensions later. So let's make a circle. Just draw a circle, and you're going to hold it with your stylus. And when you hold it, the circle, it makes a perfect circle for you. Did you see that? I'll do it again. So if you have like a shaky hand, right? This is one of the cool things in Procreate. If you make a circle and then hold it, it straightens it up for you. And that's with most shapes, but I personally only use it if I'm making a circle. So that was an oval. Let me see if I can make an actual circle. And if you rotate it, it turns. Okay? You can make it smaller or bigger. All right, so we're following that quick little trick, how to make a perfect circle in the app. So let's do it again. I want a perfect circle. I'm using my guide just to see if I can make sure it's perfect. Yeah, it's a little bit off, but you get the idea. All right, so let's go back and turn on our drawing assistant, which is symmetry. Turn it back on, and we're going to make a face using symmetry. So we're going to circle. We're going to make a half circle because with symmetry on, the other half will create itself. All right, so did you see that? If you're following along, did you make your half circle and it made a whole circle for you? With symmetry turned on, I erased it, doing it again. Okay, so since we're making a face, I know with a face we have eyes, nose, mouth. So what we're going to do, we're going to put some guidelines in the drawing that we will erase later. So a guideline for the face, you're going to cut the face up into parts. So we have a circle. This is for the entire face. Let's make a guideline about halfway down, and we're just going to go straight across. And because symmetry is turned on, I don't have to do the other side. Okay, and then we're going to make another guideline. This one is going to be for the mouth, and we're going to mimic the lower curve here. So we're going to go up just a little bit. It's like we're making lines on a basketball almost. All right, so we have a line here, line here. We're going to keep making guidelines. I'm going to make one right here for the top of my eyes. Okay, see that? Going to go a little bit higher. This one's going to be for my eyebrows. I know you don't see it now, but it'll all come together. So I have guideline, guideline, guideline. This one's the mouth, so we need a guideline for the nose. The nose should be right under the eyes, between the eyes, and this will be the mouth. So let's making another guideline. So at first glance, it kind of looks like the lines on the basketball almost. And I know you can't really tell yet, but we're going to bring it all together. So we're making a face using the symmetry tool turned on. So we only have to draw on one side, and it'll automatically copy it on the other side for us, which just makes our digital life a little bit easier. So hopefully you have, let's see, we have the main circle, which is the face, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 internal guidelines. The main one was halfway down the middle. This one will be the base of our eyes. So let's focus on the eyes. So being that this is the eyes, this top arch will be the top of the eye. So now let's go in and we're going to create an arch. We're making a cartoony eye. This is not a realistic drawing. This is more of a cartoony drawing because that's the art style that I understand the most. So that's what I'm most comfortable in teaching. So it's not a realistic face, it'll be a cartoony face. So let's make the eye. We're going to use this bottom base as the bottom of the eye and this top, that's almost slanted curve, as the top of our eye. So let's start from here, go around, come down. And if you hold, it'll make that line kind of perfect. All right, I'm not happy with it, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to undo. You should have, if you have Procreate, if you double tap, it undoes for you. Or if you click this little button here on the side, there are undo buttons here. So if you're not quite happy, that's why I love digital art. If I make a mistake, it's really easy to correct. So let's try that again. Up, down. All right, so we kind of made the eye. And then the bottom of the eye, we're just going to come here, curving it just a little bit. All right, so I'm going to edit it one more time. Because I have symmetry turned on, it's a little funny. So let's do it one more time. corner, up, there. I'm happy with this because before I thought the eyes were too close together. So this looks good, and then we're going to close it out at the bottom. Now I'm drawing a woman character, and I like eyelashes on my woman character, so let's give her an eyelash. And if you're more comfortable on drawing on the right side, go right ahead. I flip back and forth, but again, because we have symmetry turned on, you just need to pick one side and it'll duplicate it on the other side for you. So let's give her a pretty eyelash. So to give her an eyelash, you want the same hump again, but just a bit higher. So up and around and hold, and it's there. Right? See that? So let's color it in. Again, I'm only coloring in on one side. I forgot to mention, digital art in Procreate, it may be a little bit easier for you if you are already someone who sketches by hand. If you don't know how to draw by hand, it might be a little bit more challenging. Not sure how to help with that other than practice. The more you practice, the better it'll get. All right, so this is, I guess this is her mascara, right? So I like to have really thick mascara, and then at the end, I'm going to give her one eyelash. Going to curve here and down, and then color it in. And do you see it made it on the other side? Okay, can you see that? Zoom it in for you. It's kind of looking like Spider-Man a little bit right now. So now let's give her an iris on the inside. Now, because it's symmetry and we don't want her to look cross-eyed, a little trick is don't make the iris right in the center. Don't make it right in the corner, but make it right in between here and here. So we're going to draw a circle inside. Okay, see that? And you're welcome to color it in, just so you can give our sketch some dimensions. So I'm just scribbling in. In this class, we're just going to do black and white sketch. In the next class, we'll do actually coloring in. So black and white sketch. And then let's give her some highlights real quick. And to do that, we're going to erase some of the art we just added in. One thing I should go over with digital art and any art is that it's all about illusion. Like you're using the tools that you have to create an image, and it's all an illusion. Anything you can do to make the final image look the way you want it to. And sometimes that means adding or subtracting. So because we made this eye black, I want to add some highlights. So instead of coloring in white, let's just erase. So go to the top tool, erase tool here. And we're going to, if you tap on the erase tool, the brush library comes up again, and you can actually pick what brushes you want to use to be your eraser. I'm going to use these. It's called syrup. Syrup is under inking. Inking syrup. What you just saw come up, if you double tap it, you can change the details of your brush. If you play around with it, you'll see how it's different. We're not going to do that just yet. So I'm turning on my eraser. I want this brush. And I'm just going to erase. Now remember, because we are doing a symmetrical thing, you want to erase right here at the top. Okay, so we're just putting a little highlight in her eye. And then let's do another one right here. Okay, so we are good. So we're going to go back, we're going to get off of the eraser, go back on the pen, the brush, because we want to draw again. And it should automatically go back to whatever brush we're using. And I still want to use the sketch pencil. And right now, we're still working on the eye. So let's work on her eyebrows. So we're going to use that top eyeline, guideline for her eyebrow. So let's just fill it in. Okay, so I use that top guideline to make her eyebrow, and I just made it on one side and it replicated on the other. Okay, now let's go to her mouth. I always do noses last because I think noses define a face. All the elements define the face, but you can really tell a face by the nose. So I like to work on the nose last. So let's do the mouth. So the mouth, this line right here is actually the middle. So if her mouth was closed, we will just keep this guideline as is. And then we're going to draw a lip. The easiest way to draw a lip, it all depends on, again, your art style. We could do a simple lip where we just go up here or down here. And you see in the middle is where the mouth comes together. I like giving my lips a little dip in the middle. So let's go back. Again, if you tap with 2 fingers, you will go back 1. If you don't want to tap with your fingers, you can use the back arrow right here on the corner. It's right on the corner of the app. That's what these arrows mean, backwards, forwards. So again, using that middle line, let's start in the corner here, go up a little and come down. And there you have a hump. I know there's a name for it. I'm blank at the moment. I don't remember what it's called. And then we're going to do the same thing with the mouth. And I'm just going over my line a little bit heavier with my pencil. Okay, see that? If you wanted her to have an open mouth, right? Let's say right now it's easy to do closed mouths. If you wanted to do an open mouth, you would basically just add another hump here. And then this would be the open mouth in here, right? This would be where her mouth is open. To get it really cutesy, let's undo, gonna do it again because we want to make a cutesy drawing. And when you have a cutesy drawing, you get to exaggerate the features. So I, again, double tap to go backwards because I'm still working on the art. And again, with digital art, what's so much fun is you can redo as much as you want because that's the beauty of digital art. That's why I like it. Drawing on a paper, I used to waste so much paper. So when I found digital art, it was a life changer for me. So I'm going to make the mouth again. I want it cutesy. And I like smiles. So to make a smile, you just want the end to go up. Right? And then we're going to come down here. And I'm going to leave her mouth closed. Also with Procreate, the harder you press, the darker the art gets. And then for a cutesy smile, it's like a little semicircle. You could put it like this or like this, whichever one you prefer. Oh, another thing I didn't show you. You can change the art around with your finger. So I'm using my thumb and my middle finger. That's how I turn it. You may want to use these 2 fingers to just turn your art. And you could turn it however you need to so that it's more comfortable for you, whatever your preference is. And you can zoom in. To zoom in, you do this, just like anything on a digital platform that's touch screen. So zoom in, shrink to close, and zoom out, right? So let's zoom in. And my symmetry is still turned on. So again, I only had to draw on one side to get this. And now let's do her nose. So we want to so this is the middle of the nose. This is actually in between. So we're going to draw right underneath this line. We can do a little curve here and a little nostril here. And then we're going to add a hump over at the top. Okay, If you are drawing, let's say you're drawing a child. If you're drawing a child, you would actually move the nose up and the face up, like closer to the eyes to get like a little kid's face. All right, so we have the nose, the mouth, we have the basic features. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with my eraser and I'm going to erase all of those faint guidelines that I added just to help me get to this point. I don't need them anymore, so I'm going to go in and erase them now. So I have my eraser on the syrup tool. You can pick whatever you want. I'm just picking this one. The syrup tool will give a uniform look to it. So I'm zooming in. And again, because it's symmetry, I only have to do this on one side. So I'm going in and I'm erasing my guidelines because I don't need them anymore. Okay, zooming out with my fingers, rotating it, the canvas just a little bit. I don't need this guideline or this one. And let's see, I think I caught most of it. And the face, the drawing assistant is still on, so that's why you see that line right there. So now let's say you're in Procreate. Let's say you already made your face, but you're not happy with the position of the nose. Let's say you wanted it a little bit higher. Again, there's so many ways to do this, but this is the way I like to move things around. And being that this is Digital Art 101, working in Procreate, these are the little tips and tools that you can use to just get ahead in your own digital creating. So let us move the nose up a little bit. So to do that, we need to select this portion of the art. So we're going to click this tab here. It looks like an S. And we're going to go to the freehand option. There's automatic, there's freehand. Let's click freehand. And with the freehand option, we're going to circle what we want to move. So we want to move the nose up. So I'm circling around it. You should see the running ants go right around it. And then from there, we should be able to move it. So to move it, you have to make your option go back to the pointer tool. Click there. And see that? I moved it. So I'm going to move it up just a little. I made it a little bit bigger. And I want to slide it up. Actually, it looks better if I slid it down. So I made the nose a little bigger and I slid it down just slightly. I think my eyes are too high. So let's do that again. Let's move the eyes. So we're going to hit the selection tool, freehand, and we're going to draw around what we want to move. We want to move all of this. We selected it. We have to click here on the arrow tool to move it. And I want to slide it down. So I'm going to put my finger, my pointer, my stylus right here. And I'm just going to push it down just a little because I want her to have more forehead. So see that? I moved it down. Was that clear? Any questions so far? Did I lose anyone? Hopefully you are following along. So we have this super cute face, right? She has a round face, which is fine. Some more advanced artists will define the face more, but for this exercise, we'll keep it round. So now let's give her ears. And again, we're going to go back to our brush here. I'm going to click that. We're still on that pencil. And I'm just going to pick a side and I'm going to draw an ear. And because the symmetry is on, it's going to draw on the other side. So to draw an ear, you just want a half circle. And it should be between the eye, like the eye and the mouth. It should be like right in between. So let's see. So we gave her ears. It looks a little high, so let's bring it down just slightly. So right halfway up on the eye should be the top of the ear. And I curved it. So did you see that? I made like a backwards C. Do it again. Okay, so she has ears now. If you wanted to give her earrings, you could just make a loop right here. A little trick to make it look like it's going through her ear. This is the front of her ear, so just make an oval and stop right when you get to the back of her ear. If you want it to look like earrings coming out of her ear. Okay, see that? Again, I did the two to undo, the 2 finger taps to undo. And I gave her loop earrings, and it replicated it on the other side. Woohoo! Okay, and she is super cute. If you wanted to have some fun with your drawing, say you want to give her freckles, we could just add some dots here. A little bit more dimensions, you could add some wrinkles. It all depends on how you want it to look. You are the master to your own art. Art is all preferential, whatever you prefer. Let's say if I wanted to give her more eyelashes, just go in color. Eyelashes, the trick to eyelashes is it's kind of like a curved triangle. So you actually want to start out and come in. Start out and come into your eye. I'm just giving her a little bit more eyelashes, just to give her some more detail. I think I messed up with the top one. Let's erase this one. And to define it, I'm just erasing and then redrawing. All right, let me not mess with it anymore. So we have a face. We spent day 1 just drawing a quick face in Procreate. So let's review what we've learned so far. So in this intro class, we learned how to use symmetry. And just to recap, to do symmetry, you would go to the little wrench tool here, click on Canvas, click on Drawing Guide, then Edit Drawing Guide to turn on symmetry. There are different options that you can use, but for this exercise, we use symmetry, and that's how we were able to just draw on one side and continue on to the next. So we have this super cute art. She's bald right now, so for all our bald sisters out there, if you want to leave her right here, this is where you would stop. If you wanted to give her hair, you would continue. So for me personally, when I am drawing, I like to do hair on a different layer. Even in my sketches, I like to do hair on a different layer because just like in real life, my characters change their hairstyles all the time. So let's give her some hair. Something simple. Because we're in symmetry, we'll do like, she's not a kid, so I don't want to give her like a kitty hairstyle. But because we're in symmetry, it's just easier to draw something that's on 2 sides. So we can do puffballs. But again, I wasn't trying to make a little kid. But let's see. So to make puffballs, what I did, let me start over. What I'm doing, I'm going to put the hair on a brand new layer. So I'm going to go to over here. This is the layers tab. So brushes here, brush, smudge, erase layer. Click the layer tab, hit the plus sign to get a brand new layer. So you'll know which layer you're drawing on depending on what's highlighted. So now that I'm on the second layer, if you can see in the first layer, it says assisted. In the second layer, it doesn't say anything. So that means my symmetry is not turned on. I want it on. So tap on it hit drawing assist, and it should be on now. So because we're going to draw some hair, and we want whatever we draw on one side to show up on the other side. So let's see what kind of hair. Let's do, the easiest would be a puffball. To do a puffball, pretend like you're drawing a cloud. So let's just draw a cloud. Real messy, right? If you don't like it, 2 fingers back. I could take my time. Also, the face is kind of big, so I know that I want to draw a puffball. So let's go back to that first layer, and let's make it a little bit smaller. To make it smaller, click on the layer, then click on this arrow tool. You see these show up. They are called handles. The handles show up so you can manipulate it. I just want to make it a little bit smaller. I'm going to hold right here and drag down, and it pinches the art down a little bit. Unfortunately, when you change the size of the art, the quality goes away somewhat, but that's okay because we're just sketching. So I'm back on the second layer because I want to give her some hair. And usually what I'll do, I will just scribble here. So if I wanted her to have locks, I would keep it on my pencil tool and I would push this slider up. This slider will make your brush thicker or thinner. So if I slide it up, we should have a really thick brush now. If I slide it down, see, that's really thin. That was actually very hard to see. The more I slide it up, the thicker it gets, right? So if I wanted her to have some, let's say just random locks, I would sketch on this side. Just have fun, and I'll sketch it. So I'm just starting from the crown, going down. I know it looks crazy, but just showing you, giving you an example of how to just make something real quick. What I'll do, I'll sketch real quick just to see what it is I want to work with. And I'll make multiple layers of the hair. So this one looks like this. To turn off a layer and not erase it, I just want to turn it off. You uncheck this little box here and it turns off. So it's still there. If I check it back on, it comes back. Check it off, it goes away. Let's create another layer and we could give her a different hairstyle. And this one, let's go back to originally where we did puffballs, and I'll take my time. So it's an actual puffball. So all you want to do is make circles or half circles. Uh-oh. Did you notice? I forgot to turn on my assist. Let me turn that back on. To turn it on, tap here. This window pops up and I'm going to click drawing assist. And again, Procreate is really good on your history. So because symmetry was the last drawing assist that I had on, it's going to default to whatever I used last. So click here, turn on my drawing assist. And now I'm going to go back in that layer and I'm going to draw a puffball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so my drawing assist was on, so it did it on both sides. I don't like it too much. Let's try it again. I'm deleting, and I'm going to make it a little bigger. Now we know puffballs are usually behind the ear, so we could erase right there. And she still has a bald look, so let's give her some hair at the front. To give her hair, start right in the middle. Again, because we're in symmetry, you're going to go in, and those same half circles, you're going to do that around the face. And when you get right to the ear, you know we like our baby hairs. So we're just going to go like this, curl it, and come up. And there you have the hair. And at this point, if you want to color it in, just go ahead and scribble it in. And because our symmetry is turned on, you only have to do it on one side. And I'm scribbling like a mad lady, just going in. Again, this is sketch. Sketches are just for fleshing out your ideas. It does not have to be perfect. And I want it to seem like the puffball is still behind her hair. So I'm just going to darken right here. I'm going to darken the front of her hair compared to the back. And let's zoom out and see what we have. Now with natural hair, what you can also do is, this is where you could also play around with the different brushes that you have. You could always go through and pick a different brush just to see what it would look like on the different tabs. There's so many different options, but you could go and play with it. I'll stick up with my sketching and just keep going. Okay, so we have this hairstyle. Turn that off. Turn back on the other one. We had this like just free flowing hair. Give her a little bang, I guess. All right, and again, these are symmetrical hairstyles. So for our next layer, let's do something that's not symmetrical. So turn this one off. There's no symmetry in this one. Let's give her a swoop bang. So start from one side and just go over. Most swoop bangs will cover an eye. So we'll go right here like that. And then we'll close it out. And then we could sketch it in. So at this point, let me show you. It doesn't really work on the sketch filter, on the sketch brush. So let me do this with a different brush. I'm going to go back into my brushes. So instead of sketching, I'm going to go to inking. And I'll teach you one more thing before we wrap up, because I just looked at the time. We've been going for 45 minutes. This has been awesome. So I'm now on the under brush library, inking, and I'm going to click syrup. Again, these are default in Procreate. And then I'm going to, on our new layer, let's create a swoop bang. And I'll show you how to color it in an even quicker way. So we're going to start here above this eye, and we're going to partially cover this eye. Symmetry is turned off. And again, you can tell it's turned off because it doesn't say assisted here. And also, the drawing assist is not checked. So symmetry is turned off. So let's make a swoop bang. So you'll notice right away, in just changing the brush, it doesn't have that like sketch look anymore, which is okay. I'm doing it this way because I just want to show you how to color in something real quickly. Still with the black ink. As long as your shape is closed, see that is a closed shape. If you go here at the top, hold it and drag it in and let go, it'll fill in that section super quick. So let's give her hair on the other side. Same kind of oval. And this side, same thing. Grab here. Now it'll only work if you have a solid path. If I did that with the sketch, let me show you. If I did that with the sketch pencil, it wouldn't have worked, because the sketch pencil has like, let me show you. It has like a whole bunch of holes. See all those holes in there? So if I were to put this and drag it, it would seep through the holes, and we don't want that. So that's why I had to change my brush just to use this quick drawing effect. So let's go back to inking syrup, and I'm going to just add some extra details. With my art, with my character art, I like to come down with the hair on the side of the face. I think it just mimics what we do with our real hair a lot more. And I will go back in and I'll do it much neater if I was really working on it, but because it's just a quick sketch, Okay, and she can get like a ponytail to one side. So let's give her a ponytail right here. That's the ponytail holder. And then we're just going to give her a ponytail. Okay, did you see how I did that? I didn't speak on it. So it's like an S. Make an S right here. It's like a stretched out S. And then for this side, you can either follow that S and connect it. So you can go like this. And then as long as it's connected, you can drag in and color in that section. Okay. So there, I think we did it. Another thing that you can do with layers, you can always rename your layers. So if I wanted to rename this, instead of layer 4, tap on it, double tap on it, I think, or press and hold. There's a way to do it, but you can rename layers. Oh, if it doesn't come up automatically, it's in the tab on the side. So say I want to call this ponytail, show keyboard, I could write ponytail. So this is a ponytail layer. This one, let's rename this one puffs. And this one, sometimes my stylus is too sensitive, it won't work, so just using your finger is fine. Rename. That last one was just like free locks. And return. And so let's go through and just look one more time. So if we turned off the ponytail, I wanted to see our puffs, or if we wanted to see the first thing that we did. Okay, so we did three different options, and we still have our face layer at the bottom. Also, real quick, if you made your art and you say you don't want it to get messed up, you can always lock that layer. Just slide over and hit lock, and you can't draw or delete this layer by mistake. So we never renamed it. So let's rename this layer. Oh, because it's locked, I can't rename it. So unlock. Let's rename that face, F-A-C-E, return. All right, so we are at the end of our class. I hope you learned a lot. Homework, I want you to draw your own hairstyle on the character that you made. You don't need to color it. We're sticking with black and white for this class. So class is officially over. I need to say thank you to our sponsor for today. This video has been sponsored by The Dime Smiles, which is my refreshingly delightful art brand where I get to create the cutest character art and place them on high quality goods to simply brighten your day. So head on over to thedimesmiles.com and grab yourself something cute. All right, that's it for this video. I do hope that you learned a lot in today's training. Do subscribe to the channel for more content just like this, and also leave your comments down below to let me know exactly what you've learned and how this training helped you, because it helps me to know what content to bring to the channel. All right, that's it. Thank you so much. Have a great day and God bless.